All right, you devils, happy Friday. Oh, let's see here. We have 12:28 on Friday the 22nd. I got a few things teed up for you here. We're going to spend very little time on Bitcoin. What is there to say, right? We've been in this... Well, if you call this the breakout here, we from between 25 and 31 for 6 months. All right, we're just a lot of consolidation. So the count's not changing. There's not much to add here. Right? There's a very little add from last week. I barely come up with anything to say last week. So there's not much more to say here. The one thing here, a couple of guys on my team kind of leaning into the idea we could have a triangle here. So, the implication being, oh shit, come here. We'd probably come down here and kind of clean up this. Now, it's no requirement that the market do that, right? There's no, we have to do this to complete this any sort of a pattern. But just trying to apply a little Elliott Wave here. This is open to interpretation. You could look at this as ABC, right? In ABC, you're trying to get it done down here. W, X, Y, well, you're still trying to get it done. It's just that the count in here is very unclear, right? No one's going to have a whole lot of conviction on what we have there. So a lot of consolidation, triangle, 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 triangle. Market can't get out of its own way, and we're likely to just do this, if not drift lower, until we have a catalyst. What's the catalyst? Likely an ETF. Right, we're getting a little progress. So we got one in Europe and we got one in Japan. They're coming, right? I think most people would concur that it's just a matter of time, not a matter of if. And then how many, how big, and how long is it going to take, right? So with Bitcoin, you've got to have a long-term horizon period, right? You got to be thinking 3 to 5 years. Of course, we've been saying that for the last 3 to 5 years, but that's the reality, right? Who thought we were going to go to 70K, right? 3 to 5 years ago. So as we sit here consolidating and dealing with essentially government trying to control it, which they're not going to be able to do. All they can do is slow it down. So that's what they're doing, slowing it down. Okay, not much more to add here. But as soon as this count changes, we'll update it. Okay, so I have four for you to look at here. I'm just looking for things, a little mix here. So I've got 3 crypto and 1 traditional here. So I've got Rune, TRX, Maker, and then Palantir, right, for a traditional asset here. This one I'm trying to buy it pretty aggressively there myself. Let's start with Rune. Just take a look here. See if we can learn, right? That's the point here. It's not always about, there's the setup, there's the trade. It's like, okay, what can we learn here? Well, so not everything in crypto is in sideways to consolidation here. Let's see. I have this here just to note here, right? Again, doesn't matter what it is. They all do the same thing, right? Here, golden zone, right? Now here, so you look there and you go, oh, wow, look at this, right? Good looking rip off of that. But what's interesting here, let's do it this way. Shit. Come out of there. Okay, here's just, I like to keep these wicked off just so I don't lose track of them. Well, so I've got some Elliott channeling on here. So one, we get a wide kind of a sideways 2, and it would appear that we've got a triangle here that's gone in here. It's a little, it's a little funky here because you at first glance you might have looked at that as a 5, but we can work this as a triangle here. So nice looking 4. It's certainly, what else would it be? It's a little bit of what else? What else would it be? Note the Vegas wave catches the edge of it here. Can it get any better? Now, what's interesting about this is that as we pump up here, now we don't get a new high here, and so this is one of those cases where you just have to work on the probabilities. Now, could we have truncated there? Of course, we could have. Well, let's just look over here. We could have. Let's get this right here, and if I pull back a little bit, do we have? Let's see. I'm coming. It's here. I'm on BitGet, right? Of course, because they're our sponsor, so I do all the analysis when I can on BitGet. This is actually our lowest low here. These are all wicks, right? This is our lowest closing low. So coming off of this, we can we can simplify this. When in doubt, right? Simplify, right? So there's a 3. Sure looks like I got the ingredients here of a good-looking 5. So so why draw attention to this? Well, one, it's nice to see some Elliott. You know, again, right? It's not like, oh, there's some magic software that creates this, right? It's human emotion creates these, right? Fear, greed, right? Consolidation, I don't know, uncertainty, right? In a triangle. But then, of course, the algos are very involved in what's happening here. Thus, the perfect golden zone here that goes up, right here, sweeping the highs. They all. It's not why they move; it's how they move. What's interesting here again is that while this could be a truncation, right? We know that that's. It's a last resort. So before whenever you're evaluating, oh, do I have a truncation? Well, yeah, this is all wick, and you could make a case for it here. But boy, we could make just as strong a case here that we've got more to go here, right? This is the 1 of the 5th. Now we've had a pretty big relative to the 1. That's a pretty ripping 3 here. So you would be a little bit cautious about. Oh man, we went wicks here. We went beyond 2618. That's probably 327, something that range. It doesn't matter. It's just, but the point being, boy, that's extreme for the 3. So are we going to get a big 3 followed by a big 5? That would be the hesitation. Ooh, right? Can we really get up here and get a 3 here? That would be. Now we could have a diag here, so we could have the extension in the 1, a little shorter in the 3, right? So we could end this thing. You know, something like this, right? If it's going to be a diag, we'd have to overlap here, but it could be an impulse, right? We don't have to. 3 just doesn't have to be long. It just can't be the shortest, right? So we could have the extension in the 1, 2, 3, something like this. Put the 5 up here. Now you got a really good looking Elliott count here. That's come off of this very technical, right? So that's always the question, right? This is forever and a day. This is all we ever do as traders, right? I've just been harping on this lately, right? Does it hold? That's it. That's all we ever do. Anywhere on the chart, that's the only question you're asking. Which we got to swing, which side breaks. That's it. That's all we can ever do. So when you get something like this and you go, oh, okay, good, right? And then look, oh, bang, right into a golden zone, right? That's a trade. You want to look for those, right? And where you can, right? I mean, it's not like it's hard to find them. It's true. I mean, pull up any chart, any time frame. Now, you go out to a monthly, right? You know, it can be a little tougher to find them. But if you stay daily and below, there is no asset you won't find it. It's none. None, right? Just go from the daily to the 4 to the, find the time frame that you like to trade. You're going to find them all over the place, right? Because that's the dominant algo, right? I think we can all agree on that. Feel free to disagree, but you're going to have to show me one that's more consistent, which is a loaded question because I know you can't find one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, could we get up here for this 5? Well, all right. There's no reason to assume. Oh, top is in. Why would you assume that, right? Right now, I've got good Elliott framework here, right? I've got this nice channeling. I did have to put a sliding parallel on this to try and stay consistent with the 1, 2. Pivoting, connecting the 1 and the 3. So as I come over here and I get outside of that channel, I put a sliding parallel on that just to kind of watch, because if this is going to go, well, right? Standard ops. What are we looking for? Where would we be interested? Well, just standard protocol here for an Elliottian, right? If we can get that 50, or the 2. Well, let's label it. Let's go up a degree here. Let's do this. All right. So if we can get up here and go 1, 2, why would you not? Why would you not take it? Let's take that micro, right? You're a little scared. Oh, maybe, right? Well, shit, right? I mean, it's easy to talk yourself out of a trade. Well, it's probably just as easy to talk yourself into a trade, right? To come to think of it, but I mean, does it really? I take this view, right? And I know people disagree with me here. I've had some criticism in the comments, but as far as I'm concerned, all right, why would you not take that trade, right? Look at the risk reward. Look, here's just first, second, right? If I'm going to go get this, when someone says to me, well, shit, why are you taking that? Well, okay, well, what would it be? What would the risk? Oh, fuck, where are you here? Oh, fuck, these things always take me a minute to find. Here we go. Okay, all right. So if you're taking this, let's say you're by at the 50, and we're looking for the algo target. Well, there's 3.79 to 1. Are you disappointed in that? Well, nothing says we have to stop there. right? If we're going to, the other thing you might do here is just use traditional Elliott. Okay, well, is the 1 going to be enough? Well, here, let's just look here. If this is my 4 here, well, common targets would be 1, 127, 1618 here, but we've got, if emphasis if this is not going to be a truncated fifth here, we're going to go 1, 2 and then start to go up. Well, we're looking for something bigger there. So you might, in that case, because we had such a big extension in the 3, I might do it this way: 1 through 3, pivot from the 4. Right, so now we get some bigger targets here. So a minimum would be here, right? We could say maybe this little pocket here between the negative 23.6 and the 618. Next negative 618 relative to the retrace, and then here if we're going to get a big third here, well, what do you got there? See, this is the these are the high class problems. Oh fuck, do I get out here? Do I get out here? Right. I mean, high class problems, right? Because you're in a nice profit here. But this is what you need to focus on. What's my risk? Right? Because this is all, again, high class problems. Oh, where do I take my profit? But the professional is never focused up here. Look how much I can make, right? It's always like, okay, what's the risk? What if I'm wrong? Let's assume I'm wrong. What's the impact? You got a pretty good, here, you can just draw this over here. You got a pretty good resistance, potentially back for support. Can you risk from, that's pretty reasonable risk, right? Now where it's a little trickier for most people, right, is if you get stopped out here and then it starts to go, right? And then you get this, right? Can you go again? Right? And that's where people are like, oh shit, I don't know, man, I was stopped out. But if it was just this small amount here, there shouldn't be any resistance. Well, okay, a little deeper than I was anticipating. Coming back into the range down here, maybe there's a secondary. For whatever reason, if we break down here, if it still looks good to you, well, we have to get this out of here. I wouldn't shy away from it. What now? Okay, let's be a little more specific about it here. Okay, right. We're looking for a 1, 2 here. Let's go down. Let's go to a 2 here. Right. So we're looking for it in a 3. Okay. If this is 3, 4. Well, let's do it that way. Oh, we can do it here. Okay, that's 3. Right. So we got 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. Oh, not much of a 5. Right. It's kind of just a little pop for the 5th, which is all the more might make you think, boy, are we going to truncate here? Well, okay, what do I have coming down? Oh, let's go in there a little bit. 1, 2, A, B. Well, let's look here. Maybe a 1's better. Looks like you can get a 5 here. Again, I'm not trying to make this difficult. I just, okay, well, can I see a 5 there? Yeah, I can. Let's see if I can get a triangle out of that. Yeah, just again, kind of trying to keep it simple. I don't know that I would want to go 1, 2 here. I'll just kind of stick with the triangle idea. Well, let's put that down here. I just might have to spend a little more, or just to kind of see how far are we going here. Excuse me. You might be able to do. If I do it here, then you'd have to do 1 A, B, C into the 2, possibly. Yeah, let's throw that up there as a candidate, right? It's hard to call it, 3. I don't know if that's the 4 either, right? We might have more. You might have to do it here, right? And then do A, B, C into the 4. Expand the B so I can go 1, 2. Right now, do I have more to go here? Right, maybe I do. Now let's take that. Oh, let's take you down 1. Oh, let's go over to green. Okay, so A, B, C into the B, maybe, right? It looks like I've got 5 here, so I'm leaning away from the triangle here. Even if you squished a 3 in there, A, B, it just doesn't quite play, right? Because you're looking for 3s in there. 1, A, B, C into the 2, that could fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C into the 4 candidate. Excuse me. Okay, 1, 2. Wait, can we finish it down here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Let's get you even a smaller degree, and let's go down to minuscule. Okay, so maybe we've got 1, 2, right? Note the Vegas wave, right, as we come down to it. Looking for something like this, 3, 4, 5 to give us a C of a 5 of a 2. All right, so here now if we pull from the proposed 4, we shrink this down a little bit. All right, look how that lines up, right? Which is what you're trying to do, saying, hey, well, if I do that, right? That's why often I like to do that before I do the Elliott pull and say, okay, well, or pardon me, the fib swings. If I do that, where do I land? Oh. It's not the cleanest. It's a little questionable, right? Because the A, B is so small relative to the C. Let's see, look here. This is a good ABC here. You're gonna have to wedge your 3, 4 into that. Well, I'd leave it this way. This is one to be watching here. So we're trying to get every little swing here just nailed down. What I'd be looking for is, okay, if we're gonna do this and we're gonna come in like that, right? Okay, it's not ideal in terms of the A, B, C swing relationship, the length, swing, time, all of it. I wouldn't shy away from that, right? So, but I certainly would not be sitting down here with a limit order. I'd want to see somewhere in here, give me a reaction. Now, ideally, I want a 60. Maybe you go down to a 15, right? I mean, you just to dig out, can I get a 5 here, right? I kind of screwed that up, right? Can I get a 5? Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, maybe this was a little bit odd. Okay, well, then it's the exact same process, right? Can I do it next time, right? So now I have a little more conviction in it. So if I come, if I come up here for this and then I come back down, boy, I'm really interested right here. But see, note now again, we don't have this, right? But if you were thinking, oh shit, I missed it. We get here now, you're coming back down. You're anticipating the 3 here. You're kind of right back to where you were originally looking to get long. Now, that's the ideal scenario. We don't know. Market often doesn't cooperate that way. But in terms of planning it out, right? This would be one I'd get it on your watch list, right? Okay, if we come down here, we might have to revisit this. But the only thing I see that might make this better is if we go A, B, C, and then the relationship to A, B is a little bit better, but then you'd be, you probably have to do it this way. 4, 5 here. That's a candidate, right? And again, often with Elliott, it's a little bit of like you pencil it in, right? Okay, look, that's a contender, right? But I'd be quick to move these if needed. Okay, so can I get an impulse here? Yeah, I can get one. Well, then I got to make a kind of a more difficult approach to what have I got here, right? There's a little bit of an educated guess there. WXY could be A, B, C. Well, then you'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Either one of these could work, but you end up in the same spot. You're looking to be a buyer down here between call it $1.70 to $1.63, anywhere in that pocket, right? So it's not like, oh God, if I don't get it just right, I can't take the drawdown of 5 cents. Right? We don't need to slice it that finely, right? That's the point being, if it goes right, if this is going to have we're going to get a fifth out of this, right? Whether you got it at 170 or 165 and a half, is that really going to matter? Probably not. So one to watch. And also, always good to go, because I have to go, shit, what is Thorchain? What is it they're doing again? I don't like to buy something that I can't come over here and go, is there a use case for this? Because there's a whole lot of crypto where if I see one more new alt that's, allows building on digital, come on, give me a use case. This one, well, it's all blockchain focused, but you can recognize here if we can swap tokens across layer 1 blockchains. Okay, that's got application. That's useful. That's what Thorchain is, or Rune. I don't know whether we call it Rune or Thorchain. I think we call it Thorchain, and Rune is the symbol. But okay, look, right? So we can look at it here. I mean, that's how you find these things. Oh shit. Looks to me. I mean, is it hard to spot the Elliott there? No. Right? It's not hard to spot it. Now it gets a little trickier here when you dig down here. When you're down to a 60-minute, then we first started on a daily, but we can drill down here and say, all right, I'm interested there. So, okay, don't complicate it. Let's put a little alert here on this line. I think it was a low volume note. I can't remember what I did there. But just the idea being here, have something trigger. If something goes off here, we're coming down a little bit lower. Okay, I'm watching. I'm definitely interested down here. All right, there's that one. Now, so let's, we got Rune here, so let's go to TRX also, signs of life. Now, this is an interesting one in that the Elliott here is, it's not really there. Sorry. Okay, right. So can we come up with a clean count here? No. I mean, can you label it? Yeah. But is that, so when you look here, you got to say, okay, is this playing good Elliott ball? No. Well, compared to what we were just looking at, right? Very different over here, right? Good. And pretty much everything we're looking at is good with the exception, the exception of TRX. Okay, so this is a good example of why, okay, I don't have an Elliott count here. I'd have any conviction. I don't think anyone would. You know, it's not a diag. It's not, it's not there, right? So now maybe it's there at, we went to a weekly or it's not worth fussing around with it here. What can I see, right? Do I need the Elliott? No, right? The Elliott's useful if it's there. It's not always there. All right, I got to swing low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Can I trade this with market structure? Sure. All right, I got a clear uptrend. I think, all right. So if you're going to walk away from the Elliott because it's just not there, well, what's of course the place we would start? Right? How's the algo doing in here? There's no place where it's not dominant. None. No market. No asset, no time frame. This dominates everything, right? So to not apply that would be just, I don't understand why would you even be thinking that? Well, you got a little wiki here, right? You got a little wick went through here, but that's looks like liquidation here. Second target, or pardon me, here's the target right here. So it looks like it stayed with it, coming back. Oh, I'd probably check some of these. I have to come back here, right? Where's the target? Up here. So kind of slop choppy. I've got a 50 and here's the God MA. All right, so once we get on the other side of it, wicks, bang, bang. Pretty nice, right? So we've got this channeling, and I just drew another channel up here to accommodate the overthrow here. So where's the trade? Now this looks like, hey, do I have, all right, so after all of this slop, do I have some Elliott showing up, right? Is all of a sudden, are we going to get an impulse to come out of here? Looks like maybe, right? You might have it starting to shape up in here. Well, let's go to white in here so we can see that a little bit better. So after all of this, okay, well, I can see the market structure. I can see we're in an uptrend. Now I've come down here. I don't take out the strong low, but I do get a new low, right? So this is technically not a new strong low because it hasn't done anything, right? It would have to take out that before you'd lock into this as the next low. It's a candidate. That really should be, what do you call it? Put it in yellow or gray or something. Because it's not, until we break this, we can't call this a strong low. So this is the last low that did its job, is it broke that. Right, so we still have the contender here. So now if we go, oh shit, let's go to a 4 hour. All right, we look here and say, okay, well, you look at that and you go, okay, big fucking deal, but okay, all right, so is there something we can do here? Well, this gets a little, there's your double top. Looks like you got a decent 2 here. If this is the 1, 2, 3, oh shit, can we do it? Well, you'd have to do it as a diag. Because if it's 1, 2, 3, oh, let's go in there. Can we make that fly? Can we get that 1 there? Well, it sure looks like we can pull that off here. Right, so 1 is the longest, but we can look at that. Well, sure. Hang on a second. Likely we can come out of this quite confident right here that we have. Is it pretty? No, it's not pretty, right? Can I call it a 5? Well, I'd call it a 5, right? So into a double top here. So shit, you know, it's ugly, right? This is ugly Elliott everywhere, right? Everywhere we're looking, it's ugly Elliott. Okay, well, I'd put them up there until I'm forced to change them. Okay, but then this looks a little bit, you kind of get the same problem here. 1, 2, 3, overlap again, right? So you can see it's not playing great Elliott ball. 1, 2, 3, so we're going to do diag? I don't think so. Maybe, right? We just don't have enough Elliott here, even if we say, okay, is it showing up here? 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4, 5. Maybe, right? I would not be leaning into the Elliott here because it's so it's just scattershot, right? There's just no clear, oh, there it is, boom, right? You're kind of stuck with a lot of chop, but a clear uptrend. So this may be, of all of what we're looking at today, maybe the tougher to trade because you don't have the Elliott to lean into. That doesn't mean you can't trade it. So, you know, let's take this off and just look at where would the next opportunity be? Well, here's the last break of structure, right? Remember, it's as simple as mud, right? If we break structure, right? When we break structure, what are we waiting for, right? The next retrace, right? That's why I emphasize market structure now so much because it gets you out of that habit of thinking or even the considering buying the breakout, right? I call them breakout, well, I shouldn't say it that way, right? This is a dangerous place, right? If you've listened to 5 minutes of any of my videos, you know that I would tell you that's the worst possible place to enter the market, right? Because you're vulnerable to getting you're vulnerable to this, right? You're vulnerable, right? You don't want to make yourself vulnerable to that. You don't, right? But if you're using market structure, you're going to wait, right? It doesn't matter how far that goes. Right, the point is that you wait for the retrace, break, retrace, break, retrace, right? So it forces you to be a retracement trader, which I think will serve you best over time, which is why I emphasize it, not to be a dick about it, right? I'm not trying to say, well, God, no breakout ever works. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in terms of being strategic about how you want to approach the market, breakouts, not going to serve you well over time. Yes, they work they have to work, right? There has to be a breakout that works or we go sideways forever, right? So did this breakout eventually, did we get a breakout? Yeah, but look, see, this is what breakout traders miss, or if you're tempted, right? Oh, look, yeah, right, there's the breakout. Well, what happened after the breakout? Come here. Right here, it broke. What happened next? Retrace. Here's the trade, right? Because now when you go into the pivot knowing, oh, see, I'm vulnerable just like you were vulnerable here. I'm vulnerable here if I get kicked back, right? If it's just a liquidity sweep, oh, well, I'm going into it with house money, right? So worst case, scratch, right? So I can come out of here. Even this comes back. Here it comes back, right? Now, that would be an internal, right? Internal break, not a major break, but so you call it a micro boss, right? Then, okay, you get another little micros here. What are we running into, right? We're coming right into the supply, right? Buy side liquidity, right? So if you get up here for that third, is this the third, right? We're doing the 4 a little lower, right? Is there great? Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't lean into the Elliott unless it starts to really shape up here. Now, if this starts to go, maybe I'm back here putting 4, maybe. But best, right, is if you're applying Elliott Wave, the best trades almost always come from a scenario where it's so bloody obvious you cannot miss it. You can't miss the 5s and the 3s. Those tend to be your best trades, right? Now, we as Elliotticians, right, you're trying to figure out the puzzle, right? And the more complex, the more the challenge, right? We like that challenge. But in my experience of many years of doing this, you know, so first question is when you pull up a chart like this and the Elliott's not there, do you keep grinding away saying, or do you just go next chart? Well, this is such a good example of a trend. I go back here, we go to an 8 hour here. We go, this just very easy to spot. Oh, okay, the Elliott's not there, but any question about the trend? No, right? We just have this unproven low here, right? It's like penciled in, right? It's not a strong low until we take that high. Right now, that's the strong high, right? Because it hasn't been broken, but this process here and so what do we have here? All right, so we have fibs, we have geometry. There's the 50 and the 200, right, or the GOD EMA, right, the average of the SMA and the EMA, and then I've got a little geometry here. So if we start to play ball here and we come up here, what am I looking for now? If I get up here, I'm not necessarily anticipating that they're going to break that high. If I completed this 5, I'd be looking for that. Then I'd look for it, right? Remember, break of structure. This would be a break of structure. We wait for the retrace. If the retrace here, if I think I've got a 5, I'm not anticipating this to do that. I'm not saying couldn't happen, but that's not what you're anticipating. What you're anticipating is the 3 to correct the 5. Right, 5s and 3s. So even though you're like, fuck, there's no Elliott there, but all of a sudden it'll show up. So don't ignore. If you can't go, fuck, I don't know what that was, and all of a sudden you get a perfect 5-3, take the trade. But of course, right, it's right. Take it. That's your target. 5-1. Right. Focus here, not here. Excuse me. Always focus is how much could I lose, not how much could I make. Okay, let's one for the watch list, right? To keep an eye on that one. Oh, what do I have? Maker, right? I think we looked at this one on Wednesday's live stream. Somebody gave this to me, and I came back to it here. I think this is a contender, although this is an interesting one, in that, okay, here there's plenty of. Oh, there's probably more. I'm sure there is more history here. I'm on BitGet, right, again, because they're being our sponsor. So there's probably more history, but I don't really care, right? So coming off of this low down here, okay, if we start to go here, I've got something to work with here. Now this is unusual to come that deep into the 2, but it's not invalid, right? Unusual is just that. It's unusual, but it's not invalid. But what makes it a little funky is that I get it's the length of time, right? So I get all of this is my 2. My 1, 2, and then 3, 4, right? Compare that to the 4. Now this could roll over again. There's no telling, but as it sits right now, I've got this one long, deep 2, and then boom, coming right out of that, I get just a crystal clear, like 20 out of 20 Elliotticians going to give you an impulse there. Now, where are we with what's coming here? Well, it sure does look like, oh boy, the anticipation would be to take that up, but now look at the. With Elliott, remember, channeling it's so critical to it. You've got to use it where you can. Okay, do we have channeling here? Well, it's mighty fat, right, in terms of the channel, because this is unusual. And you look here and you go, oh fuck, what was that all about? Well, do I even need to do it? Let's see, we can do it. Oh, that's good right there. Right, because this is the second low. It goes here and then here. Target. Now, I know you're looking here going, okay, look. What's up? Double top here. Why are we stopping there? Why can't it get through there? Do I need to do it? I'm not doing that. It's not a magic trick. I'm just showing you how the market moves, right? Oh, what? We're bumping our head there. Wonder why. I'm not saying we can't get through it, but you want to understand, like, why is it stopped there? Right? It's always, like, forever. I would always look at things and go, why did it stop there? Well, there's your answer. All right, so if we're going to get through that, well, you could see a candidate here. Maybe we've got the 1 here we can't get through on the Here's our first attempt at it. Now maybe we blow right through, right? Again, they have to break at one side. 1, 2, right? Now I like, if I'm going to go into a major golden zone like this, I want to come into it with house money, because I need that big push here to give me, what would I be looking for? 3, 4, 5, right? That's what you're hoping to get out of this. Now we don't know, right? It's got to, so here, well, we're back to the trader's conundrum, right? This is all we ever do. Does it hold? That's it. That's trading. That's all we ever do in trading. Does it hold? Now we could add in options and, you know, time decay and gamma, and we can get that. But in terms of directional trading, this is the only decision we ever make, ever. Swing low, swing high. Which side is going to break? Because eventually one side is going to break. If it's doing this, oh, I got a deeper correction here. Oh, maybe this is an ABC. If it's doing this and we go up, now I know now I've got more guidance from the market. Oh, looks like the 4 is in. That's a 1, 2. Oh, I'm expecting a 3, 4, 5. Right? This is the advantage Elliott gives you that you can't get with any other technical approach. You can't get it. Right? There's no if this then that. I don't care how much ICT you consume. The reason we started teaching is, one, just popular demand, and two, if you combine the two, it's a more valuable resource, right? The Elliott gets stronger and the market structure gets stronger when you combine the two, because you can't have one without the other. Well, pardon me. You can have you can't have Elliott without market structure. You can have no Elliott, as we just looked at, right? We can have no Elliott, as we just looked at over here. There's no Elliott here. But I can use market structure and geometry and fibs, and then maybe the Elliott will show up, right? But if there's Elliott, there's market structure, right? Period. You can't, right? This break a structure. Here's the change of character. Okay, here's the strong low, micro break. Right, now combine all this together. Now you're ready to play ball. Okay, so last one here is Palantir. Right, this one I like a lot. You can see my limit orders I'm trying to buy. It's a pretty good amount of size right here. I'm trying to buy here, and secondary load would be at the golden zone. So I've got this beautiful, nice, God. Oh, I've got some market structure on here. So I've got a nice 1, 2, right? This is a golden zone. Then I go 3, 4, 5, just beautiful. Just, boy, when it's good, right? So and that's what I was saying before. When Elliott is most effective, you literally can't miss it. Like, how could you? Well, I guess if you've not conditioned your eye to see it, how do you not see that 5? I mean, you almost have to try to not see it. You have to go out of your way to just turn a blind eye to see it, right? To not see that. So. Unless you're just a dumbass, why would you go? Oh, I don't use Elliott Wave. I don't use it. Right? That's again, that's for old folks. That's my, as I like to say, that's my grandfather's TA. No, man, I'm way too hip for that. No, Elliott. Why would you not use it? Stupidity. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, so what? Okay. Now I already have a huge advantage over someone not using it, because I know, okay, again, what's the only thing we ever think about, right? Which side, this breaking or this breaking? That's it. What does it look like in the middle, right? Because somewhere in the middle is where we're looking at right, if we're bullish, we're expecting that. If we're bearish, we're expecting that. That's all we do, right? Now, all of this in between, right? Same decision here. Does it hold? Does it hold? Does it hold? Does it hold? Does it break? Does it hold? That's all we ever do, right? That's right there. Okay, so what are we thinking here? Well, I've got an advantage because I can see a clear 5, right? It's not like iffy 5. It's rock solid. Even the finish here is a beautiful 5, right? I've got structure breaks all the way, right? So even if I take the Elliott off of that. Boy, now look what happened here. Let's go to a 4. Now, as I complete the 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as I start to come down, oh, lo and behold, look what I get, another 5. Another 5 coming down, what does that tell me? Okay, well, shit, if I'm going to correct, what's the most common correction? Oh, 5, 3, 5. Right? Oh, well, holy shit, look at this. Wow, I've got a 5, I've got a clear 5, and I got a clear 3. right? So now, okay, this could get complicated, right? Because we haven't taken out the low exactly yet. We could get funky here. We could go W, X, Y, right? That could get a little more sophisticated here. I mean, that's the wrong word here. A little more complexity in the price action before we go down. But right now, I've got a giant 5, right? A very complete, full-featured 5. I don't know how else to say it, right? And beautifully self-contained by the channeling, right? Look, so here I've got anchored VWAP in here as well. Look what we just tagged, anchored VWAP, right? There's the Vegas wave, right? Anchored VWAP and the 200 and the 233 right together here. And note the 233 is still under, right? So the bias is still higher, but we're looking here saying if this is going to be a zigzag with a shallow B, well, we can again use targets, right? With no, why would you not measure, right? You wouldn't, right? It'd be dumb not to. Okay, well, I got here candidates. Here's a 618. Now, if I'm coming here, okay, well, it doesn't affect this 1 because I've already completed. So if I'm coming here and I'm going to come down here, well, wait a second. Wait, I might try and line a few things up. Oops. Get you right on there. Okay, everybody lined up. Okay, coming right here. That's where I'm going to buy it. That's where I'm going to buy my first entries here. Second entry here. Stop will be here. Right? If we don't hold this, right, then I just okay. I'll take the loser, right? Because my average price would probably be in here. Oh shit! Come here. So if I'm buying here and buying here, let's split the difference. This is what I'm after. Minimum. Be my stop. If I get stopped out, am I sad? A little bit. Is it a week, month, day wrecker? No. That's not gonna. That's a jab, right? I always like to use the boxing analogy. You get in the ring, you're gonna get hit, but you're not gonna knock me out with that. Right? That's just a jab. I can take a jab. I can't take an uppercut to the jaw. Right? And there's no reason to ever do that. Okay, so we've got this here. Now I might add. Let's see what the volume profile looks like here. All right, let's just go ahead and take the whole thing. Okay, so here's my POC that's what I think I had here, right? We had this low volume node here, and then also note over here, we've got this nice low volume node right here at the golden zone. So if we, right, again, I'm just assuming we're going to break the 50 here. My first fill would come in, second fill here, and so you're going to end up with a split fill. Now, if this is, okay, think about it here, right? So if did I say if this is 1, 2, this is not likely, right? Anything's possible. Not likely to be your 3 on Palantir. Plus, this is a really, relatively speaking, right? I mean, you can buy some size here without, overextending yourself here. So if we're talking about a third here, I got 10 to 1. If this is going to go 1, 2, 3, now what's the only other thing I could add to this? I don't know if I'm going to get it here or if I'm going to get it here. And then you would change the channeling, right? So this would come off. Now I could do it here, but then you'd be, well, let's put the whole thing together, right? So then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to put them somewhere, so let's just throw them up there. All right, so I'd have a candidate here for a 1. I get that right on there. Oh, that's going to be close enough. 1, 2. All right, if I get it golden, doesn't have to be golden. I'll take it if it's in between, right? Or that's the idea. But if I get a golden here, well, it's got to do it as an impulse. All right, maybe something like that. Here, I'll push this out off to the side here. Oh, it'd actually be this. If we're going to do the whole thing, 4, 5, right? This has to be an impulse, right? It's not optional. Has to be an impulse. If this is going to trade as a 1, 2, I got to have a 3 here, and it's got to be an impulse, right? It's not optional, which is, again, I take you back to, that's a huge advantage. That's a huge advantage. Oh, sorry. That's a huge advantage to someone who's not using it. Hang on, God. Sorry, damn allergies. It's not, now, just to be clear here, it's not like I go through thousands of charts to find those that where I can show all these golden zones. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, right? I'm going to see it, right? It's probably this one as well. Well, it looks like you're going to find it, right? It's just a matter of where you're looking. There's one, right there. Put you right on that pivot. Right there. Well, so there you see it. Right, comes a little shy of that target, and then we start coming down here, and you can see you finish with a nice 5. So I've got an A. Here's the algo. There's your measure move algo. So I get an A, a B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a C. Then I start again. Excuse me. So now I don't have this yet, right? We're just tagging the 50. But if I start, where's the resistance going to be, right? This is going to be tough to get through, right? But at some point, right, it has to get through, or we go sideways forever, right? There's always a spot where it breaks, right? One side or the other, right? I'm assuming that's obvious, right? We'd stay in this channel forever, right? So one side's going to break. Which side? Here, I know that just got real messy, but that's the whole idea, and I don't want you to. I don't want you to forget to look for this, right? It should be like, oh, before anything else, okay, oh, there's a 5. Okay, now where's the algo? What did it do last? Right? You have to know. Well, because I guarantee you, somebody who doesn't know bought it right there. Guarantee it. Right? They had to, right? We have a trade there. Somebody who doesn't know that bought it there. Sorry about it. Well, you know now, so you have no excuses, right? So again, it's the idea is they're always going to be there at various levels, depending on the time degree you're looking at. The point is not to, oh my God, if there's one there, I can't trade. It's you want to be going into it with house money, so that if this happens, right, then you can take a partial way. There's lots of different ways you can approach that. But what you don't ever want to do is buy into it. You want to wait, and so you can go into it like this, right? You can go into it over here, right? We want to go into it with house money, as you would here. Swing, oh, I banged it again. Now I go in here, right? Retrace. Break of structure, right? Break, retrace, right? That should be the little song that's in the back of your mind every time you're looking at charts. Break, retrace. Where are the 3s? Where are the 5s? Now, can I put some geometry around it? And what did the algo do last, right? This is the sequence shit. Yeah, I better get off, right? My allergies are kicking here all of a sudden. Okay, guys, hopefully I gave you enough to chew on there. Okay, that's my cue. All right, talk to you next time.